Now we're going to start off by hearing from Charles Hill, who has a very personal story of his journey with prostate cancer and how he dealt with a diagnosis that nobody wants to hear. I'll tell you a little bit about Charles. He retired from West Mercia Police after 32 years of service. Now, since his retirement, he concentrates more on his family. He loves golf, hence the teas that you've probably seen on the table, salmon fishing and also gardening. He's also chair of the governors of a middle school in Worcestershire, and he's undertaken police firearms consultancy for the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in the Caribbean before the COVID lockdown. So not a bad gig, is it? Let's face it. Well, to tell us a little bit more about his life and more importantly, about his diagnosis of prostate cancer, would you please give a very warm welcome to Charles Hill. Hi, Charles.
Thanks very much, Shamina. Good morning, everyone, and it's great to be back and see so many friendly faces. So I retired in the summer of 2018 in full health. However, I've been having an annual PSA test from my doctor. This is because my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer at age 74. He was successfully treated with radiotherapy and is still alive today, age 91. So due to my father being diagnosed with prostate cancer, I knew I was going to be 2.5 times more likely than average to get cancer, or prostate cancer. So last year, my PSA test result was raised, and following a consultation with my doctor and a consultant urologist, I had an MRI scan. This showed I appeared to be suffering from prostate cancer. I had a biopsy under general anaesthetic, which confirmed the diagnosis. I decided to have my prostate removed, and my surgery occurred in May last year. The operation, I am pleased to say, was a complete success, and all the cancer was removed. I was very lucky that my vigilance and catching it early meant I didn't need to undergo either radiotherapy or chemotherapy. I'm now fully recovered and here today as a Prostate Cancer UK volunteer to raise your awareness. I must emphasise I'm not a healthcare professional, but a retired cop, as you might know. But I really want to help you and your members and your brothers, your fathers, friends, to improve their knowledge and awareness around prostate cancer. So at the end of the presentation and throughout it, I'll try and signpost you to various ways. We're also really lucky to have the UK engagement management from Prostate Cancer here, who's the lady in red at the very back. But I'll point you out to Kathleen later on, and you need to go and contact her so we can get your links with occupational health and get into your forces. So here we go. So know your prostate. Prostate Cancer UK is the main website. So if you look at that website, it'll give you all the information you need, but I'll refer to it. So now you know where the prostate is. People ask me, how big is a prostate? It's about the size of a walnut. The prostate gland helps to make semen, which is the fluid that carries sperm during ejaculation. A trans woman is someone who is assigned male at birth but identifies as a woman. Trans women can develop prostate problems even if they have taken hormones. The prostate is not removed during genital reconstructive surgery. So an enlarged prostate is an increase in the size of the prostate. It's very common in men over the age of about 50. An enlarged prostate is the most common cause of urinary problems in men as they get older. As the prostate grows, it can press on the tube you urinate through, your urethra, and slow down or stop the flow of urine. There are ways to treat an enlarged prostate. It isn't cancer, and it doesn't increase your risk of getting prostate cancer. The two problems usually begin in different parts of the prostate. Prostatitis is the name given to the set of symptoms which are thought to be caused by an infection or inflammation of the prostate. Prostatitis is a common condition which can affect men of any age, but it's most common in men aged between 30 and 50. Prostate cancer, normally the growth of cells is carefully controlled in the body. As cells grow old and die, new cells take their place. Cancer can develop when cells start to grow in an uncontrolled way. If this happens in your prostate, you may get prostate cancer. And Prostate Cancer UK supports men with all these conditions. So we now know it is, and we know what it is. We need to understand your risk. The UK, Prostate Cancer UK website can help with that. 1 in 8 men in the UK will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. It mainly affects men over 50 years of age, and your risk increases as you get older. You are 2.5 times more likely to get prostate cancer if your father or brother has had it. Black men are at a higher risk than other men. 1 in 4 black men in the UK will get prostate cancer. If you're overweight, you have a higher risk of being diagnosed with prostate cancer that is aggressive, i.e. more likely to spread, or advanced, that is cancer that has already spread outside the prostate. Oh, that was that slide. Oh, I missed a slide. There you are. So that's the big slide. So let's talk about symptoms. Urinary symptoms can be a sign of prostate problems, but not necessarily prostate cancer. If you notice changes in the way you urinate, this is more likely to be an enlarged prostate or another health problem. If the cancer breaks out of the prostate or spreads to other parts of the body, it can cause pain when urinating or ejaculating, problems getting or keeping an erection, pain in the back, hips or pelvis, blood in your urine or semen, or unexplained weight loss. All of these can also be caused by other health problems that aren't prostate cancer. But it's still a good idea to speak to your GP and get any symptoms checked so they can give you the right treatment. But most men with early stage prostate have no symptoms at all. That was certainly my case. I had no symptoms. It's only a PSA, it's a blood test that alerted me to a problem. You only get symptoms if the cancer grows near the tube you urinate through, your urethra, and presses against it. But because prostate cancer usually starts to grow in a different part, usually the outer part of the prostate, early prostate cancer doesn't usually press on the urethra and cause symptoms. So now you know some of the risk factors: age, family history, ethnicity. What do? We need to take some action. You have the right to a PSA test if you are over 50 years of age and you have thought carefully about the advantages and disadvantages. The PSA test is a blood test that can help to diagnose prostate cancer or a problem with your prostate. Most GP surgeries now offer phone and video consultations, so you don't need to go in. You can have a consultation over the phone in a COVID-safe environment at home and then go in and have the blood test. Some GPs may refuse to give you a PSA test, in which case you need to speak to our specialist nurses. A little bit more about them in a moment. I know that going to a doctor for some men is really difficult, and I'm probably not alone. We don't like going to doctors, us gents. However, you can ring the Prostate Cancer UK website and speak to our team of specialist trained nurses, and they will talk you through the pros and cons of having a blood test, because the PSA test is the best opportunity to see whether you potentially have it, but it does have it's not always right. It can give a false positive. But that team will talk to you in confidence, give you your options, and give you much more information. The other thing to do is to talk to friends. I've spoken to a number of people at this conference who I've known for years who've also suffered from prostate cancer or prostatitis. So it's a question of talking about it, and men aren't great at talking about health problems, so I encourage you to do that. On our website, you can check your own risk in 30 seconds. It's an interactive online checker on the Prostate UK website. So if you've got any concerns at all, that's a really good place to start. Obviously, hospitals, doctor surgeries are safe places operating COVID-safe protocols. So they are safe places to go, and if you have to go and see them, they'll give you instructions about how to manage any COVID issues. Now, we're going to come to questions, and I'm sure some of you have got questions. But the lady in red at the back, who's going to stand up for me, Kathleen. is the Prostate Cancer UK Engagement Officer, or lady, and she works out of Glasgow, and we're really lucky to have her here today. She's very busy. But can I urge you, when we finish or in the breakout exhibition sessions, go and speak to Kathleen, give your name, give a contact for your occupational health lead. Kathleen's done a lot of work in Scotland with the Fire and Rescue Service. She's desperate to break into the police market, so to speak. So anything you can do to get into them. Equally, I'm, as a former NEC member, district chair, branch chair, I'm very happy to come to your branch or district meetings free of charge. I'll bring some teas or some goodies. I've got more teas. Anyone who's a golfer. I did say to Paul I wouldn't do this because it probably breaches health and safety, but anybody a golfer? Come on, there must be a golfer in the room. Oh, look, there's, so you know, if you do the old throw out of the chocolates, you know, there we go, you know. Yes, no. Anyway, right, no. I've got air fresheners and car fresheners and whatever. So anyway, any questions? That's really it. But please, have yourself checked, talk to your friends, talk to your brothers, talk to your fathers, and if you're over 50, go and get a PSA test, because actually that might be the difference. And for me, it was the difference. And if you think, well, aren't there problems, or I've had one 2 years ago, go and have another one, because you start to build a baseline, and from that baseline, you may end up getting a diagnosis. And, you know, I'm a survivor, and I've lost weight, I feel healthier, and all is good. So thank you very much for your time.
Does anybody have any questions? Because I've got one for you, Charles, if that's all right. I know you talked mainly about the people it affects, obviously men, and you gave us a list as well of other people. What about the women in your lives? How can they help?
Well, they can help in terms of spreading the news and the message, because a lot of the women obviously got brothers, sisters, and fathers, etc. And it's just encouraging them to talk about it. So as in breast cancer, there is no defined link, but if your mother or sister has had breast cancer, there's a potential chance that you might get prostate cancer. They haven't been able to define that risk, but both my mother and my grandmother, unfortunately, have suffered from breast cancer. So again, that may have been a risk factor for me. So again, it is all linked. It's probably the biggest cancer killer in men in terms of prostate cancer. And it's out there, and it's really treatable. So you can, without getting into the detail, you can either have keyhole surgery or open surgery, or you can have radiotherapy. Or you can have what they call watchful surveillance, where you just monitor it over a period of time with further blood tests, visiting the GP, etc. And then at a particular time, and I was told I probably wouldn't die of it, but it's that psychological thing. I've got it. It's contained within the prostate, so I thought I'll have it out because it can't spread if it's gone. So yeah, I just think it's encouraging men and women to have the conversation with each other about it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? No? Well, no. If you do, you know where Charles is, and it was...
And Kathleen.
Kathleen at the back as well. So, you know, feel free to ask them any questions at any time. Charles, wish you continued recovery, obviously, and carry on doing what you're doing.
Yep, thanks very much.
And how good are you at golf?
Oh, no, steady. It's improving. It's got better since I retired.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Hill.